what were some of its successes, the great things that happened?
Well, we work with about 2,000 kids a year, so there's a lot of kids that benefit from the program and have for the last 25 years.
That's a phenomenal figure. Say it again, Virginia, dear.
25 years of helping kids, and we work with about 2,000 kids a year.
Wow, what a good feeling that is. Give me an example of how it goes, would you?
Sure. Kids sign up. They come in. They pick what they want to study. So they have a private lesson every week with their instructor. And we have 35 instructors to choose from.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Music, art, dance, theater, photography, lots of different things. And then they also can attend group classes. We have more than 20 hours of group classes available for students each week.
Shane, this is a grand thing that you do.
It's a fun program.
Indeed it is. Tell me some more of the courses, would you please?
Sure. We have lots of different instruments. So drum, guitar, vocal lessons, piano, and then the kids can perform also. So we have a stage and we have seating for 200 people. We can have a show and people can come and watch the kids perform. We also give art lessons.
Whoopee!
Lessons. Yeah.
Has anybody famous ever emanated from your school?
We definitely have performers out there in the world. You know, as far as a household name, I'm not sure about that, but lots of people who have done very, very well in the arts and in other careers because of the empowerment and confidence they gained here.
And then how often do you have public performances?
Usually twice a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Now, Jamestown, New York, folks, is on the other side of New York State, on the Ohio side. And
Okay.
I'm talking to you from the Massachusetts side. And I think there must be, 500, 600 miles between us, dear?
I would think so. About 6 hours of driving for sure.
Yeah. And it's crooked driving, too. It's not straight across. You have to go slanty.
True.
Now, the class year, you don't do the summertime?
We do. We're just finishing our program year, August 31st, and then we have 2 weeks off to get the facility back up and running, and then we start our new program year on September 18th.
Oh, tell us some of the most wonderful satisfactions you've had from it.
Oh, I like the connection that the kids have. We have 33 different schools that come here from our region.
What did you say?
33 different schools. We have students from that many schools in our region.
Really?
Yeah. So they meet kids that they normally would never have spent time with, and they make friendships that last beyond their time here.
Sure. Now, this is
wonderful.
Chautauqua County, right?
Correct.
Now, what's the population up there?
Well, in Jamestown, the city that we're located in, it's about 35,000 people, so pretty small.
Well, that's not small, honey, but you do wonders with what you have.
Yes, we have some very, very generous donors and funders in the area that really like what we're doing, so that certainly helps.
So do they ever say anything nice about you?
They do, yeah. We work really hard to make people happy. So.
Tell me some of the nice things they say to you.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, the funders keep funding us, so that's always a nice thing to hear.
Yes, right.
Yes. And they just like that we offer this for kids, and we write grants for scholarships, so we give away $45,000 a year in scholarship funding to our students.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a need-based program, so they have to apply and qualify financially. But about 30% of our students here are here because of the scholarships. They would not be able to have private lessons.
Oh, that touches the heart. What are the age of the students, the youngest ones?
We start with 3, and then we can go all the way up to 21.
Woo!
Yeah.
And how many years has it been going there?
25 years. We're celebrating 25 years this November.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
We're doing a big party.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
We're having a show on November 9th here in our cafe, and our students are going to be preparing for that. And just a happy birthday to Infinity, and see if we can get some alumni up on the stage. And
let me hear that date again. November 9th?
November 9th.
And how long will the show last? 2.5 hours?
Usually shorter than that. We try to do about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
And how many people will be participating in that? 100?
I'm not sure yet. We have to see like what we can put together, but usually we have anywhere from like 15 to 20 students that go on stage and do 1 or 2 numbers, and then that lasts about 90 minutes.
Oh, that's nice. And one little boy said to his daddy, he says, it's going to be a real show, not just for parents. Could you give me an idea? For instance, piano. What would you have for piano?
We have several instructors for piano. So some students study classical, some students study rock music. It's all across the board, lots of different genres.
How did it start? How did such a nice thing start?
It was actually a singing program for 7 students that wanted to perform more, and the founder, Ron Graham was his name, he got those kids together and started getting them out in the community performing, and then it just kind of developed from there into private lessons. And
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What some of the great accolades, some of the great triumphs, what have some of them been, dear?
I mean, it's really the personal empowerment that the kids get. We put on great shows, and they walk away from that feeling really good about themselves. And then if they're going to be a musician or something else in their life, they have that feeling of accomplishment, and really empowerment is what we're going for. We're trying to have kids believe they can do anything.
You really must have a tremendous amount of energy to put together a show like that.
Don't sleep a lot, yeah.
Now, what are your hopes and plans for the future?
Well, we're doing a construction project right now, and we're redoing our art room because the art program has taken off. So we have...
What was that, honey?
Our art rooms are being renovated right now because our art classes have really taken off.
Oh, I see. That's what you said. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And do you get grants?
Oh, yes. I write 30 grants a year to keep the program going.
And do you write those grants?
I do, yeah.
Bless your heart. And
got to get money from somewhere, and we live in a very poor community, so we can't charge the rates.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do the parents contribute financially to it?
The parents that can afford to. So there is a membership cost each month, and then people can apply for scholarship if they can't pay the amount.
Oh, each month there's a membership fee?
Yep.
Okay.
For everything they do here, whether they have performances or group classes or private lessons or all three, it covers everything.
And it's all it's nonprofit, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, isn't that a great spirit that keeps us going?
It's a great program for the kids, so it's my honor to keep it going for sure.
And are the kids doing any carpentry work on the renovations?
Nope, not allowed. No, we've brought in professionals for that with a grant.
Yeah, I would like to hear some of your great moments. Could you tell me?
We just had our big show. COVID, of course, stopped our performances for a while, which was, not very fun for anybody. But we just got back to our big spring showcase, which was
good
for the year. Yeah, so we had that in June, and we had close to 100 students on stage for that one.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we had to go to a bigger theater because it was too many people for our little theater. But
well, that's a lot for a community of 35,000.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. Yeah, kids just keep coming in. So
yes, right.
And what we're doing.
Yes, I don't suppose you have to promote it much because there are so many people going to the shows.
Word of mouth definitely helps, but we are always recruiting because our goal, most businesses want to keep their clients forever, but we want our kids to go to college and go out into the workforce.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me what...
We all want to retire, so we need them to do great things.
performing arts. Tell me what colleges you work with.
Say that again?
Yes, performing arts. Will you tell me what colleges you work with?
Well, locally we have our Jamestown Community College, and then we have an excellent music college called Fredonia State.
Yes.
Yep. And
that's
then
a
had
big name.
kids that have gone to other music colleges. So Carnegie Mellon, Berklee College of Music, SUNY Purchase, just a lot of different...
Yes, I was going to ask you about SUNY Purchase.
Yeah. Our students last year graduated from their film program and
yes.
film here as well. Mm-hmm.
Folks, have you ever been to Purchase, Community Purchase in Westchester County?
Yeah.
Have you ever been there, folks? I'm asking my TV audience, yeah.
10 minutes.
It's quite a place. Amy, have you ever been there?
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Yeah, it's a great campus, honey.
Beautiful campus, and really close to New York City, which is great.
Yeah. And I used to live there, Shane. I used to live within, it's actually in Harrison.
Cool.
And I lived there. And also, guess what? Within 10 blocks of where I lived and where SUNY Purchase is, Amelia Earhart lived.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, nobody does. No, nobody does.
Great.
Now, where can we read about it on the internet?
We have a website called infinityperformingart.org, or they can just search Infinity Jamestown, and that usually pops us right up to the top.
And now, what does the concept infinity make people think of when they think of your school?
So the name is an interesting story. There was a group of people that were supporting these 7 original students, and they were trying to come up with a name. And Carol Faison, she was a local woman that lived here, and she said, "We want it to go on forever." So
oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah, that's very good. Do you have a
I've been here 20 years, and I think whoever takes over after me, I hope that they keep it going forever as well.
Good for you. 20 years. That's a long time at that rate.
It is, but it's feel-good work. So it's
and at those numbers that you called out, that's a big job. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that really work hard for these kids. We have 35 instructors and, a staff of people that just want to help kids in any way we can.
Oh, yeah, very, very good. And it keeps them off the street, doesn't it?
It sure does. That gives them marketable skills for their future.
Now, tell me, how long is it going to take to polish a show for November 9th?
To put it all together?
Yeah, have it all polished up, ready to go.
Well, we'll start on September 18th for sure. They're already practicing some material for this summer while we're still having summer lessons.
Yeah.
In September, when we start our new program year, that will be the big focus. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a performing arts story about the young Hollywood extra who was given a speaking part, his first speaking part in a movie.
Yeah?
And the scene was, the detective would say, "Did you see that woman drink this cup of coffee?" And he was to say, "I did." And he went home and he rehearsed all the different ways you could say, "I did, I did, I did, I did." It came time to shoot the scene. The detective said, "Did you see this woman drink this cup of coffee?" And he said, "Did I?" I bet you've had mistakes like that too, haven't you?
I think everybody has mistakes like that, for sure.
And, I've been on TV 53 years, and it's unbelievable the amount of mistakes I made. But I learned way back when television was live, there was never any film. I learned way back, you look straight into the camera, and you tell the audience went wrong. Yeah, but I think that's just the best way, don't you?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Well, is there anything else you would like to tell us about this opportunity for the youth?
Well, if you're ever in the area, you should stop in. We also recently opened Pearl City Playhouse, which is a ceramic studio that's designed for our adult members of our community.
Now, is
15
that
minutes.
considered a performing art?
Not really, but we are Infinity Visual and Performing Arts. So visual art does incorporate play, and we had a lot of requests for it. So we were able to write grants and open up a second location.
Oh, you got a grant?
Lots of grants, yeah.
Oh, good.
There's a grant for that one. So
Now, as you're coming from Buffalo, east to west, what are the directions?
south is from Buffalo. So you would,
Oh, it's really south, is it?
yeah, we're down south of Buffalo, and we're very close to the Pennsylvania border.
Oh, I see. Are you close to the Ohio border?
About an hour away from the Ohio border.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And give us the directions, hon.
Well, if people want to come into Jamestown, they would come. I guess it depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from Buffalo, you'd come down Interstate 90 and
Okay.
on Route 60 and take 60 all the way into Jamestown.
Is it?
Of the Comedy Center here, the National Comedy Center. And
Yeah, what is that about, honey?
National Comedy Center is a really awesome place that is all just a celebration of comedy, and that opened a few years ago. So that's here in Jamestown also.
Does that have anything to do with Lucille Ball and Desi
Yeah,
Arnett?
absolutely. She was born here, and so we have a Lucille Ball set and stage and all kinds of stuff that are going on here in Jamestown.
There was a true performer, don't you think?
Absolutely. She was a groundbreaking performer.
Yeah, she never could do anything wrong. She was so
chaperone.
adept.
Yes,
Mm.
agreed. So she's celebrated here quite a bit. A lot of things named after her.
Yes, and then isn't Chautauqua, your county, famous for some kind of performing county in the summertime? Don't you have lectures and things like
Yeah.
that?
You do realize that you
Chautauqua
yourself a
Institution,
really
so it's
good
it's a community really, and there's a season all summer long where they bring in speakers and have classes.
Yes, and that's been going on for a century, hasn't it?
Yeah, at least. I think
Yeah.
we did celebrate 100 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Roger Torrey Peterson, who was an artist that made field guides, he also was born here, and we have the Roger Torrey Peterson Institute.
You do what's in there? His biography and his artwork?
And there's art, his artwork, yeah, and it's just a beautiful space, and they bring in a lot of speakers and things like that, so that's
Yeah.
here. And then we also have the Robert H. Jackson Center, which is
What is that? What was that, please?
from the Nuremberg trials. So the judge that was involved in all of that, he was born here as well.
Tell me about that, honey.
It's a place it's right up the road from us, actually. It's 2 blocks away from Infinity, and
2 blocks away from Infinity. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, honey. I've never been that close to Infinity. 2 blocks.
right, 2 blocks, yeah. So just a lot to do if you come here, and we try to work with the kids that are here. Someday we want to all retire and have them take over the town and do great things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, this is going on 72 TV stations all over the country. Boston, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, San Diego, San Antonio. Isn't it great that we're telling the whole world about these things in Jamestown, New York?
It is. Thank you for reaching out to us. We were surprised to get your call, but
I wanted to know about you people, and I asked for the library. I asked for information for Jamestown. And this lovely, sweet voice came up, and I said Jamestown. It was to Jamestown, South Carolina, honey.
a little different, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Would you like to have the final word?
I just thank you for having us, and if anybody's in Jamestown,
we still got
and check us out.
Yes, definitely. What'd you say, Amy?
we're only at 19 minutes. We still got some left.
Okay, Amy wants to know if there's anything further you say before we cut out.
I'm not sure. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I wish you could remember some of the funny things that happened on stage.
Funny things that have happened on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow.
I got one for you. In 1962 is when video first came out. Up until then, we had no video. We didn't have any videotape. And it was an enormous machine. It was bigger than a washing machine, twice as big. And the tape itself was 2 inches wide. Can you imagine that? Tape that's 2 inches wide, and an hour program weighed about 50 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, people didn't know what it was.
20 minutes.
And there were two terms that didn't get to the public. One was live. You know, what do you mean by live? And, yeah. And, well, for some unknown reason, WRGB General Electric in Albany, New York, Schenectady, Troy, decided to video my program. And they made so many mistakes, Shane, that by the time we finished, it was time to go live. And so I didn't live far from the station, and I'm walking home. We had done the program, and I'm walking home. And as I go down the sidewalk, there's 3 or 4 kids on bicycles on the sidewalk. And the mother opened the door, and she said, "Billy, Glendora's on." And Billy said, "Well, I'm not going to watch that stupid show." And he turned around and face to face to me. Isn't that funny? Now, how did that kid know that? They didn't know there was any such thing as tape. So he was pretty embarrassed. And another one was, they had videotaped my show like Thursday, and I went home to Buffalo. That's how I know so much about Jamestown.
Oh, wow.
And I went home to Buffalo, and a little boy came on to be on another TV show. And he came running up to me down the General Electric receptionist and says, "Can I see Glendora?" And May, without realizing what it sounded like, said, "I'm sorry, Glendora isn't live today." Isn't it funny, hon?
I'm sure he didn't think it was very funny.
No, he did. She said the look on his face.
Aw.
Yeah.
I hope he got to see you after all.
Now, let's see. I think we covered everything. I think we did a good job. Amy, did we do a good job?
Yeah. We're at 22 minutes right now.
Well, that's enough, hon. Anything else, dear, before we cut? I want to thank you for being so generous with your time. And the thing about you, honey, is that you love what you're doing.
I do. Yeah, I really like seeing the kids just excel.
Yeah,
Our tagline is explore,
yes,
excel.
And that tells the whole story about you. You love what you're doing, and you know the good that you're doing.
Benefiting a lot of kids, so.
Okay, I can tell you today's joke. What happened when the boarding house blew up? What happened when the boarding house blew up?
I think I know this one.
Okay, tell us.
Did the rumors start to fly?
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. And the boss that said he believes in reincarnation, he says, "Did you ever notice at 5 o'clock everybody comes back to life?"
Well, we don't close till 8 o'clock here, so it's we're going to be a little later than that.
Do you know any more jokes for us?
I don't know jokes.
Amy, you do. You know a good joke, Amy, about the frog.
What happens to a frog when he parks illegally?
What happens to a frog when he parks illegally?
Yeah.
What does happen?
He gets towed.
He gets towed. Okay.
My kids always ask, why did the fireman wear red suspenders?
Very good. Why does a fireman wear red suspenders?
To hold up his pants.
And let's see, what others? Another good kids show. Good kids joke. Why was the baby shoe crying? Do you know why the baby shoe was crying?
No.
His mother was a sneak and his daddy was a loafer. All right, well, I think we've had a very good time together, all of our folks across the country. Take care, Shane.
Thank you so much, Glendora.
Yes, grace and peace unto you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Shane.
Very good, too. Didn't she do well?
Yes.
Now, honey, how many more minutes do you have?
We're at 25, so we need 20. Oh, we need 3 more.
Okay. Want to cue me in again, hon?
Sure.
Well, you know, folks, I love television. I love being on television. I love what it does for you. But we are confounded by that practice that goes way back to radio, that everything has to be 28 minutes or multiple thereof. So here we are in the middle of the show, and we've got 3 minutes left. We certainly can't go. And so let's fill in the 3 minutes with some other jokes. Got any more, Amy? What about the honeymoon couple? They came home from the honeymoon, and he said, now, dear, we have to settle down to business. Do you want to be president or vice president? And she says, you can be both, dear. I'll just be the treasurer. Bob, you've been back to that buffet table 8 times. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? His wife said to him. And he says, oh, no, honey, I keep telling him it's for you. Can you think of any of our favorite jokes, honey?
There was the one about the boss believes in reincarnation.
And we did that, honey.
Yeah.
This one you know, Amy. Why should you not tell a secret to somebody near a clock? Why should you not tell a secret to somebody near a clock?
Because time will tell.
There you are. Time will tell. A man came home from work discouraged, and his wife says, what's the matter? Well, they gave us aptitude tests at work today, and I flunked. She said, that's dreadful. And he said, yeah, it's a good thing I own the company. What, have we filled up the 3 minutes, son?
We're at 27 right now. We need 1 more.
All right. This is a good time to say, may the God of peace himself sanctify all of us, soul to soul, and sanctify good people like Shane Hawkins, who is doing so much for our youth and getting them a good start. Grace and peace. Amen.